All right. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my video. No, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Miss Mo. So, first and foremost, the girlies are out. As I have, this is a side conversation, seriously, but I was watching Victoria Monet's video. I forgot the name of it. But in that video, she was dressed very familiar for me because I grew up in that era, like the Soldier Boy era. Where was I at? I had to have been in early high school. Yeah, early high school, like 9th or 10th grade. And so, like, but the way that she was dancing too, and the way that she was dressed, it reminded me of Sierra. And I'm like, oh, I need to switch it up. Like, I need to embrace womanhood and my assets in a way. Like, I need to look grown. Basically, what I'm saying, I need to look grown because I'm grown basically at this point. If the young ones, if the young ones are paying homage to a previous era, and it's the era that I grew up in, say I'm old now. I mean, getting older is a blessing. I say it's a blessing. It truly is. It truly is. It truly is. But to see it, sight. To see it right in front of you, I said, wow, I'm older. Not just older. I'm grown. Because the kids are in their new music videos, they are referencing an old era, an era that I grew up in. Yeah, I'm old. I need to switch it up. So that's why I'm like, girl, you know you got breasts, right? Like, y'all, the way I just be maneuvering through life these days, I'm just like, I be watching television. I know this is like a very long rant, but I be watching television. I'm like, they never got their chests out, like their cleavage out. And I be watching, I be like, that's a lot of cleavage. But then I be like, wait, I have cleavage too. I never show it because I'm always afraid I'm gonna get a cold in my chest area. So I don't like to have my chest exposed. And like pretty much anywhere. I don't like having my chest exposed, so I don't want to get cold or get sick. But anyway, that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to talk about navigating loss. I mentioned that I was going to talk about this in like 2 other videos. So yeah. And so in the last video that I posted, I talked about like meeting your parents and like just seeing them for who they are and just getting to know them as a person and not just as your parent. And I mentioned in that video how my mother passed away. And so yeah, she passed away. Let's see, how long has it been? I think it's been about 15 years now. So like, so yeah, I think it's been about 15 years now. I don't know. I don't want to count it right now. I'll say about 15 years. I think like just to start off this conversation, I think like when you experience that type of loss of a loved one, the years don't really matter. It doesn't really matter how long it has been. The fact is that you always feel their loss in everything that you do, whether it is you just had a very frustrating moment and you want to talk to that person about it, or you have just had some amazing news or news to share and you want to tell them about it, but they're not there to necessarily hear it, even though, you know, your loved ones are always around you, embracing you, guiding you through life. And so for me, navigating loss has been a roller coaster. I think that the way that first I was never taught how to navigate it, because when my mother passed away, I was in college. And during this time of your life, because first and foremost, if you're watching this and you're in high school ain't shit. And this is speaking from an introvert. High school ain't shit compared to college. Ooh, college is just, you're on your own, you're young, you're stupid, you don't know what's out there, so you'll try anything. College can be fun, you know? And I'm in this stage in my life, I'm like, I'm out the house, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And then to be hit with reality of a parent's death, hey, my child, God said, girl, sit your ass down. And so I sat my ass down. And what I did do during that time was I got serious about my life. Like, I wouldn't say super serious because I still was doing like dumb shit, but I didn't lose focus. I was very focused of like, get your degree. Like, make sure you finish school. Because when I first started off with college, I was in a program that I didn't really like. And I was probably like, man, maybe I can drop out. I mean, I knew I wouldn't get too far with that idea because I grew up with Nigerian parents, so that wasn't going to fly like that. But, you know, maybe the thought popped across my head. But after I experienced that type of loss, with my mother passing away, I just got, I'll say the thing that I did was I turned off my emotions. I was never very vocal with my emotions anyway, but I really turned it off. Like, I started to become more robotic. I wasn't, like, if I was sad, you wouldn't see me as being sad. You will always see me as either being content, which is just this face, or happy, which is this face. Those were the two faces that you would pretty much see. But what would happen was that, and I would those would be my main faces, and then I would just dive deeper into my work because I was like, let me finish school because obviously there's more to life, and I don't want to spend my life in school in a way. Like, I want to experience life. It made me just focus on just really being present with life. And I'll say that was a good thing that came in a way out of that situation, was that, like, I was very intentional about what is going to make me happy, because I'm like, I've just seen death, not personally, but I've just seen death. And a part of me, I feel like when a parent dies, or a loved one that you're very close to dies, a part of you dies too. Like, I'm never going to be the same because that experience just changes you completely. You see life differently. You're not so carefree with life anymore. You're more like, shit, I gotta take care of myself. Like, I really gotta be mindful about who I'm around. Gotta be mindful of like the situations that I put myself in, because it's not guaranteed, you know. Life is not guaranteed. And so when I did experience that loss, I got deeper into my studies and just being super or hyper active. I just constantly staying busy, never really resting. And when I did rest, whew, get hit with the flood of sadness. Because I'm like, I would usually call, at the time, I would usually call my mother, not necessarily my dad, but maybe. Definitely call my mother, my sister often, then my brother and my dad. But to realize that, like, oh, I can't call her no more. It's just like, It's just, you just get hit with sadness. And even as I think about it now, you know, I get hit with sadness. And I think that was the biggest mistake that I did when that life experience happened, was that like I didn't take time for myself, because nobody in my family did. Like, my mother passed away. We did the funeral service. We like, everything was just like moving very quickly. And then it wasn't like, okay, take a semester off. No. You get straight back into work. And a part of me regrets that. But the other part of me is just like, I think I also just needed something to do too. And so to not be in school during that time probably would not have been a good idea for me, because I needed something that was a little more structured to keep my mind focused from not being so destructive to myself, if that makes sense. Because you just are filled with so much sadness that you just don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't give a fuck about anything. Like, I cared, but I didn't care. Like, I was just there. And I think that with navigating loss, you're going to have that period of just like, I'm just here. I'm not here in terms of like being present. I'm just like going through the emotions, and like, it is what it is. And so, but as I've gone through life and like gone through life and the understanding of that, like, even though my mother is not physically here, she's here with me. Like, she's still one of my guardian angels with me. Like, I still, when I hear a song that she used to play, I think of her. Like, her presence is still around me, even though she is not physically here with me. And I think that, again, with navigating loss, you never get over that. Like, you never get over losing the person. But you just learn how to deal with life a little bit better than how you dealt with it when you first experienced that loss. And that requires being intentional about that too. Because, like I said earlier, when my mother passed away, or when she transitioned, instead of me, it was like I was functional, but I was depressed at the same time, because I was super sad. But I didn't want anybody to see me sad, because they wouldn't understand. Or they'll be sad for like a moment, and they'll say that thing that is the stupidest thing that I cannot stand people saying is, I'm sorry for your loss. No shit, I'm sorry for my loss too. Like, get the fuck out of my face. I cannot stand when people say that. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know you are sorry for the loss, because to hear that I have lost someone, that's a buzzkill. So I'm sorry that you had to hear that too. Like, I cannot stand that phrase. It's such a stupid phrase. I'm sorry for your loss. But where was I even going with that? Damn, I can't remember. Either way, yeah, I would say that. But that experiencing that loss, you know, it just put a fire under my belt to live a good life. And sometimes that doesn't always happen with people because they're just like really stuck in that depressive state, or that super sad state, that they don't want to do that, because how can they live a full life or a happy life when the person that they care about is no longer here? And I think for me, it just really did the opposite in a way, and I'm grateful for that, because yeah, I just think I needed that. And like, even in death, my mother still provides for me. Like, my mother was as I think about her now, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, as I think about her now, she was just like, she was a real force. And she was like, to me, like, I would consider her to be like a baddie, because I mean, she was definitely beautiful. Definitely beautiful. She was stylish, beautiful, funny, chill, but she will come for you. Like, I am very, like, I'm a shy person. Like, when people say shit to me, it don't register in my head until like 2 days later. Like, wait, what they say to me? My mother, on the other hand, she, like, talking about chill, she was chill as fuck. But she would turn up on you if you come out of pocket. Like, she was that type of person. Like, to just have that duality within one person. And she was small. She was short. Very short. Not very, I ain't gonna like play it like that. Like, but she was shorter than me. So yeah, I'm just like, man, when I think about her, and I don't know, I'm just in awe of the type of woman that she was and how she carried herself. And yeah, I'll just say, because I'm losing track, because I'm, like I mentioned before, the pain never goes away. It ain't gonna never go away. You always gonna feel that pain. But you just gotta learn how to navigate life, navigate through that pain by highlighting the beauty of that person, and highlighting, you know, the things that they have taught you, even if they were very frustrating moments for you at the time. Just highlighting that. I remember one time, I'm getting close to time. I remember one time, I went to Six Flags, and I always had like a sweet tooth. I went to Six Flags, and I was so happy. I was able to have enough money, because Six Flags is expensive. Have enough money, and I bought me this candy. I was so happy, y'all. I was like, ooh. Got this big old lollipop. Oh my goodness. And I brought it home, and I showed it to my mom. And she was like, Y'all, she took that lollipop and she threw it away. I said, Mommy, why? She was like, no, you're not about to get sick or get cavities or whatever. You ain't about to get sick on my watch. And she just threw it away. Younger me was like, they just don't get me. My life is ruined. Older me, looking back on it, just like, thank you, Mommy. Thank you for throwing that shit away. Because you were right. I did not need it. And now, me older, 34-year-old me is just like, sugar is not your friend. All that sugar is not your friend. So, I'm just going to say, I just want to share that that story, but just to say that, like, when it comes to navigating loss, it never gets easier. I'll just say this: the pain never goes away, but it gets easier to manage the pain because you start to see the beauty of the person. And like, as I navigate more into adulthood and womanhood, and embracing my own femininity, because my mother was a very feminine woman, I dive back into my memories of my mother, and just like, because I would see her personality, but I wasn't really analyzing it too much. And just kind of like, if mommy was in this situation, or if I saw her in this particular situation, how would she approach it? I get to go back to that knowledge, even though I can't necessarily talk to her on the phone and ask her. Like, throughout my lifetime, in a way, up until she transitioned on, she has shown me who she was, and now it's for me to look back to understand that who she was by her actions even more. And so I would say that when it comes to navigating loss, don't hold back. Create space for your emotions. First and foremost, create space for your emotions. Secondly, don't live with the illusion that the pain is going to go away, because it's not. It's going to get a little easier to manage, but the pain will never go away. And third, celebrate that person and who they are, because their spirit, in a way, still lives on. Not in a way, their spirit lives on. So celebrate that person by talking about them. Like, talk about good memories, talk about frustrated memories, like, keep them alive. Because if you experience the loss of a parent, that parent is still alive, but within you, so yeah, I think that's it. But that is all for me and my cleavage. Oh my goodness, girl, what is going on? But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Want to begin a self-love journey but don't know where to start? Then purchase your copy of How to Stop Watering Weeds by visiting Amazon today. Just go to Amazon, visit the Kindle section, type in How to Stop Watering Weeds, and purchase your copy of the e-guide for $10 today.